Welcome to Beyond the Gates. My name is Susan Wheeler, and I'm here today at Copenhagen Corner in Laguna Niguel. And with me today is Mona Zerai, who is the owner of this wonderful, authentic Danish family-owned business. Mona, it's wonderful to have you with us today.
Thank you so much. We are happy you're coming.
Well, we're
And
thrilled.
give us the opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, we're thrilled to be here. This is such an authentic Danish restaurant. And maybe you can tell us, well, first of all, tell us a little bit about how long have you been here? This was a surprise, finding this restaurant recently.
We opened first November 2022. So we are almost with about 6 months.
Not long. And you have, I can see, developed quite a steady clientele. This seems to be a very popular place from what I can see. Always many people here.
Yeah.
How did you end up opening a Danish restaurant in Laguna Niguel?
Actually, I have a Danish restaurant, have been my husband's business in Denmark. And we have owned a restaurant in Denmark more than 25, 30 years.
Aha.
And we have always have it as a dream and bring our concept on brand, Danish food, to Southern California, to Orange County. And now it's happened for us after so many years, and we try to find in good location.
Yes.
And now we found here in Laguna Niguel, which is this very nice neighborhood. And we want to provide our authentic Danish food to our neighborhood.
And people absolutely are finding you. Now, when you talk about authentic Danish food, you know, there are other Danish restaurants and other places that have Viking burgers and all this sort of stuff that appear to appeal to Americans. But you have the real authentic Danish food, which consists of, what are some of your top sellers here, most popular?
You know, we do authentic Danish food. It means we do all of our recipes after grandma's recipe. And all of our foods served with our homemade roasted potatoes and homemade brown gravy. Just on homemade rye bread.
All right, and those are the beautiful open-faced sandwiches.
Yes.
What's the name of it for that in Danish? Smørbrød?
Smørbrød.
Okay.
In Danish is smørbrød. The most important with this is that we do our rye bread here, homemade.
Okay.
And it's very authentic. Exactly the same what you can find in Denmark.
I see. Your own homemade rye bread. And that's the bread it's dark, thinly sliced, has a nice sharp taste to it.
Yeah, and with a lot of grains and seeds.
Oh, that's lovely. And the other things on your menu, when I was looking at that, you have the Danish frikadeller.
Yes.
Explain what that is.
Yes, you got it. Actually, the food you just mentioned is Danish meatballs. And what's named frikadeller is our national dish in Denmark, and it's very popular. And actually, it is most sold here since we opened the restaurant.
That's your most popular dish?
Yes, both on the rye bread as a sandwich and also for dinner as a main course. Frikadeller with roasted potatoes and hot red cabbage, homemade hot red cabbage, and homemade gravy.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Just wonderful. And you make it all here. Now, what amazes me is that your kitchen is right out front here. And everything is made to order. Nothing is prepared in the back room ahead of time. Well, I mean, the basic ingredients are there, I'm sure. But everything is made to order. The beautiful sandwiches and the frikadeller and all of that. What about desserts? Denmark is famous for its pastries and breads.
Two kind of the homemade pastry right now. Which one of this is homemade cinnamon roll and marzipan kringle, or what the name is in Danish, wienerbrød. We are working on the add æbleskiver as well very soon, because a lot of people asking why you don't have an äppelskiver. Do you know what is äppelskiver is?
Describe it.
Mm.
Yeah, do tell us what it is exactly.
It is kind of the pancake, but bowl-shaped pancakes.
It's a
Bowl-shaped.
big round?
No, the small one.
Small.
Yeah, bowl-shaped pancakes.
All right.
And it's very fluffy and served with the powdered sugar and strawberry jam. And it's very good and tasty.
Sounds decadent.
I have had a lot of our American community asking too about when you are going to make a äppelskiver.
All right, so you are open to suggestions from other people.
Yes,
their favorite things.
We want to add this very soon.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Tell us about your hours. When are you open?
We are closed on Monday. Each Monday we are closed, but we operate the restaurant right now. Tuesday from 11 a.m. Through Sunday at 8 p.m. The kitchen closes at the 8 p.m. but we are open until 9. But we are going to probably make a little change for summertime.
You think so? Well, where
which we are thinking add some lunch and on brunch and breakfast for weekends.
Oh, nice. That sounds lovely. So you're open Tuesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., serving lunch and dinner. What a wonderful schedule. And I see you have wine and beer. Do you have Danish beer too?
We have a Danish beer. It must be Danish beer.
Okay, of course. Tuborg, Carlsberg.
Everybody asking for this.
Yes.
We have a Carlsberg.
Oh, Carlsberg is wonderful.
Carlsberg, and we have two kinds of this actually.
All right.
And we have a Norwegian beer as well. We add
Norwegian beer.
Yeah, Norwegian beer. Its name is Oslo.
Oh, nice. All right. This is a very comfortable, cozy restaurant. But the few times that I've been here, I've been amazed to see what large groups of people come here for lunch. So a busy time I discovered is from like 11:30, 12 to 1:30 or so. And if people want to have a large group, let's say a group of 15 or so, do they need to call ahead or should they just show up?
We prefer they call us ahead and make a reservation. And we recommend for the groups who want to come and look at our menu. And if possible for the groups, they can make a decision or order in advance, which is help us to be prepared before they are coming, and we can save time. Because our kitchen is very small and we are a little limited.
Right.
How fast we can do food for 15, 20 people in short time.
Here in your cozy kitchen. And you are a family operation, mind you, and your husband Fred and your daughter is here and a few others. So definitely a small, very cozy restaurant. Which brings me to the idea of coziness in Denmark. Has this very unique word that goes to that called, is it hyggelig?
Hygge, yeah, hygge.
Hygge.
Hygge is a very important word in our culture, in Danish culture. At have a hyggeligt, it means at have a in cozy atmosphere and have a fun and be together. Hygge, it means caring, sharing, being together for in quality time with your loved one.
And you accomplish that so well. This whole concept of hygge is, I thought it was interesting. There was a book on the New York Times bestseller list, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, called The Art of Hygge, how to live the way Danes do. And it just embraces this whole concept of something small and cozy and a place you hang out in on a rainy day, that sort of thing. Well, this looks like the perfect coffee and pastry, just what we need for a morning break with this beautiful cinnamon roll and what is it? The
marzipan kringle.
Marzipan kringle, also known as wienerbrød?
Wienerbrød, yes, in Danish.
Well, in Danish. Well,
and they are very, very good tasty, made by Danish butter and homemade, actually.
I can just see that butter oozing out of that, and it looks fabulous. Oh, beautiful. Fresh raspberries, blueberries. Oh.
I bring for you.
Oh, this is heaven. Well, Mona, thank you so much for taking time to fill us in on this very unique,
Thank you so
authentic,
much.
wonderful restaurant.
We really appreciate it that you give us this opportunity
Good.
and bring our message out, what kind
Okay.
of the food we make. Thank you
Great.
so much.
I'm nearby at the Cocoa Parlor, and with me today is owner Karen Webster, who's going to fill us in on all things chocolate. Well, Karen, I understand you have been in this location for about 10 years. I don't know how that got by me. But anyway, how did this whole chocolate business start?
Yeah, so the Cocoa Parlor actually started because raw chocolate got really popular.
Yes.
And when I was in Whole Foods, I tried them all and I thought they were terrible and they had to be refrigerated. And I thought there's something wrong with that.
Because they are all vegan chocolates.
Well, but they shouldn't have to be refrigerated anyway.
No.
Chocolate shouldn't have to be refrigerated. So I actually have a degree in pastry arts.
Oh, my.
So I know about chocolate. So I went home and made raw chocolates and took it to Whole Foods, and they brought me in, and it didn't have to be refrigerated. It was shelf stable.
Wow.
And I did that for a couple years, but realized it was too niche and it's too limiting on the taste profile.
Huh.
So then I moved into just the organic vegan chocolates that are not raw.
I see, that are not raw.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean exactly?
So the raw means that it has the nuts haven't been roasted, things haven't been heated up past 119 degrees to keep all the enzymes and all the nutrients.
So it is truly, truly natural.
But what I make now is not that.
Oh, okay.
Because, if you're putting sugar in something, it's
All
kind
right.
of a conflict of interest as far as I'm concerned.
Right. But now the difference between vegan chocolate and non-vegan chocolate is what?
Yeah, the vegan chocolate doesn't have any dairy.
Okay.
Which is usually what makes chocolate non-vegan,
I
is
see.
making it milk
So
chocolate.
you use what?
So we have a rice powder that we use
Oh,
to make our dark chocolate light.
I see. And what about the sweetener?
The sweetener is organic cane sugar.
Cane sugar. All right. So that's what gives it this wonderful special taste. And I'm just amazed to see the variety of chocolates that you have. This is not like being at See's Candy. We know what all those chocolates are all about. I mean, I'm seeing balsamic fig and rosemary lime, and who comes up with all these flavors?
I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
so do you take suggestions from people who think something might be good and you
Sure.
try it out?
Sure. Yeah. It kind of sometimes it starts with the name and sometimes it starts with the flavor.
Uh-huh.
Because if it doesn't sound right, you can't really put it together.
Right, I can see.
Yeah.
What are your best sellers?
The caramels, the peanut butters.
Okay, caramels.
Yeah, the
and
dark
peanut butters.
chocolate.
And now truffles versus regular chocolates. Is there a difference?
So the little candies, the little chocolates are called truffles if they have a ganache filling. That's like traditional. That's the actual, a truffle is with a chocolate ganache filling. I call all of ours truffles.
I see.
Just for simplicity.
Uh-huh.
But then that's obviously different from the chocolate bars that we have.
I see. Okay, and when you started this, you got the idea at Whole Foods, and then you started making your own chocolates,
Right.
chocolate bars.
So we started just with the chocolate bars. Yeah.
And did you open the space then? And
I actually rented kitchen space.
I see.
I rented just a little counter and was there for about 4 years making them by myself. And I started to grow out of that space. And I found this location. I wasn't looking for a storefront.
Right.
I didn't need a storefront. I was just
Sure.
wholesale selling to Whole Foods and Mother's Market. But this one came with a little storefront. So that's when I started putting out some truffles and trying to figure out other stuff to fill the store with.
And you really were discovered by the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And packing up Mother's Day boxes and Valentine's and all of that, plus Whole Foods and Mother's Market. So those are the two primary outlets. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, those are Whole Foods is probably my biggest
Sure.
wholesale
All
account.
right.
But we have stores on the East Coast that we sell to.
This has turned into a huge business.
Yeah,
This
and
cottage industry.
yeah.
Wow. But how many employees do you have?
So right now I have 2 employees.
That's it. To supply all this. I think I'm going to circle around here a little bit. I think the fact that you were trained as a pastry chef, right? So you really intended to work in a hotel or
True.
as a pastry chef. Did you get your training in Switzerland? You did, yes.
So no, I actually went to school for 2 years in Rhode Island
All
at
right.
Johnston and Wells Culinary
Oh my
Institute.
goodness.
And it was 2 years of pastries. First year, the baking, the breads, the croissants, the muffins, and then the second year, the chocolates, wedding cakes, and whatnot. And we're talking back in '85, I graduated. And then from there, I was fortunate to get a job at a hotel in Los Angeles with the most amazing pastry chef. And his name was Jacques Aubert. He's not around anymore, but he actually taught me everything. He saw my passion, and so he moved me to all the different sections. We did a lot of wedding cakes with the beautiful pulled sugar roses on it. And so it was really fun. So I was able to learn the croissants and how to make the wedding cakes. And the cakes we made, we cut them in 7 layers. I don't understand these like fake icing, but never mind. But I was also fortunate enough, he opened up some doors for me. I went to Paris and worked in a couple places there back in '87 at the Intercontinental Hotel.
Oh my gosh.
I was the only woman in the whole hotel. They're just it, and then in the bakery, I understood it because the sheet trays, they were cast iron.
Oh,
so
that work?
Yeah, so really heavy. So I understand why it
imagine.
was
Building up
more
muscles.
men in the field.
That's
so
amazing.
yeah.
Well, you have a very rich and varied background, and here you are. This is your niche now, and
Right.
this is your mission, and you have this fabulous, successful chocolate business.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about this business?
Yeah, so it's really important for me that the products are organic.
Right. Where does your cocoa come from?
So the beans are actually from the Dominican Republic. Okay. Most of them are there. And then I have them processed for me. And then I bring a container load over. I bring a container load over, yeah, because it took me 2 years to find a nice chocolate to use.
What hours are you open here?
So we're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Okay,
we do a lot of
hours.
online business as well.
Good to know.
Yeah.
We need to get your website.
You can order cocoparlor.com, and you can order online, and we ship it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that name. I see you have an award here. What's that all about?
Yes, I won this in 2018. It's from the Fancy Food Show. It's called a Sophie Award, and I won it for the best sweet snack of 2018, the best new sweet snack. And it's for these almond quinoa crunch bars. And they're made with quinoa and almond butter and almonds. And the quinoa is popped, so it's got a nice crunch to it.
Oh,
and they're delicious.
Very good.
People usually try them and then keep buying them and
keep buying them.
Yeah.
Well, Karen, this has been fascinating hearing about this very successful business, and I wish you well. And I do hope our viewers in Laguna Woods will come and take advantage of this wonderful little business you have going. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in.
One of the things that people love about Beyond the Gate is the direction we point them into great restaurants where to get great food. We are here today with Franco, with Antonia, correct?
Correct.
I'm saying that because I know that's got to be
Correct.
authentic.
Correct.
Who is Antonia?
Antonia is my mother.
Was she in the restaurant business?
My mother never. She should have been.
So how did you just kind of praise her?
My mother was probably one of the first Italian women. You have to understand that food in Italy.
Yeah.
Italy had just reunified,
Okay.
1861. So there's still very much regions. You know, we have 20 regions, and I'm sure that people from Venice could not tell what a table in Naples looked like, and vice versa. And this is in the 60s. Like I think there were only 2 pizzerias in Milan in 1967 when we left, and there was 150 pizzerias in Toronto where we arrived. So
what got you into the restaurant business? Pizzerias?
no necessity. We arrived. My mother found short time after we arrived. She ended up as a single parent with 5 kids, and I went out and washed dishes,
Hustled.
shoveled snow, whatever we had to do to bring a couple of bucks home. And
Wow. How long have you been in this location here?
this location, we took it over April 1st of 2022, and we opened in November 1st of 2022. So we've been open for about 5 months.
Okay, so you starting out in Canada and end up in Southern California. In a nutshell, how'd that happen?
I ran away from home. I ran away from
You're
home.
serious?
I'm dead serious.
Okay.
Yeah, I went through a separation and ultimately a divorce. I just felt I needed to get
But
away.
were you in the restaurant business in California before you opened this?
No, not at all. I
takes guts.
decided to stay here. I was hired to open a very, very high-end restaurant here in California for someone, and after 6 weeks, it wasn't a good fit. And somebody talked about this place that was coming available, and
And you said, I'm going to go for it.
well, I liked the bones of the restaurant. I mean, we had to gut this place completely.
Okay.
Completely. And, I had several conversations with the former owner, several conversations with the landlord, and we put a deal together. Here I am.
So you open the restaurant. You know somewhat about the restaurant business. How do you come up with a menu that people think, oh, I got to go back here?
I was trying to introduce a few different dishes. I mean, pasta, there's 2 million different recipes.
Do you
for
make your own pasta?
A lot of it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of it.
So the menu.
Now, there's 2 different. If you can picture a well-made silk or linen suit,
Okay.
and a well-made wool suit. They both cost $3,000, but they serve 2 different purposes. So, the wool suit you'd wear in the winter,
Okay.
and the linen suit you'd wear in the summer. It's no different with fresh pasta and dried pasta. They serve 2 different purposes.
Is that the difference? Is that the
That's-
opposite of fresh? It's fresh or
fresh
dry?
has eggs, and dry does not. Dry
okay.
And so the stronger of the 2, of course, is the dry. And you would use it, you would make it with different items that you would add to it because it's stronger and it can hold. Fresh pasta is much more delicate. You would find it in the regions north of Italy where they had cattle and they could use butter, they could use creams. In the south, they didn't have the same luxury.
so it's
So
regional.
it was oil. Everything was oil based. They didn't have the luxury of having butter.
Yeah.
So so they're 2 pastas. Like people will often ask, why don't you make your own fresh pasta? Sometimes we do, for certain dishes.
Sure.
And sometimes we don't.
So 2-part question: what is your favorite dish, and what is a favorite dish of, your customers? Start with you. Your favorite.
My favorite dish
Yeah. That you're making
boy.
here.
that I'm making here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we use Nebraska beef. Traditionally, we don't eat much meat
Right.
from the way we were raised. First of all, we couldn't afford it.
Right. Okay.
So scallopini was like 20 cents for 4-ounce piece. So that's what you ate. But we use only beef from Nebraska, and the filet mignon here I could eat twice a month.
Filet mignon?
The little petite filet is just delicious.
That's your favorite?
it's not my favorite. It's one of my favorite.
Right.
My customer's favorite that I've talked them into is a squid and linguine, where we make fresh pasta and add the sacks of squid, the ink from a squid.
I think I had that once.
And
So
we add
this-
shrimp and asparagus to it, and it's just out of this world. And a lot of people looked at me and thought, no, like it's not going to happen.
Wow.
You know, and I'd say, try it, and if you don't like it, I'll make you something else. There'll be no charge. I won't be offended. It's our largest seller.
Wow.
It's our biggest seller.
Now, besides the restaurant side, you also have a bar side, correct?
We have a bar side separate.
Does that
correct.
have music in it?
3-4 nights a week, Wednesday to Saturday.
Is it any type of music or?
We try to do jazz on Thursdays. We have 60s and 70s on Wednesday and Friday. Mm-hmm. And then we have this lovely lady who sings on Saturday with her little band, and they do a little bit of blues and a little bit of jazz.
That'd be cool.
And it's wonderful to sit there and listen to her. She's amazing.
It's like a Saturday night?
That's on a Saturday night, yes.
That'd be fun to listen to. Now, would you cater if somebody says, okay, would love to come in here and, you know?
Oh, in a heartbeat. For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
And obviously you have takeout. Mm-hmm. You just go to, you have a website?
We do. We've just, we opened very quietly. I opened my restaurants a little different than most people. We didn't advertise. We didn't do anything.
Really?
We did a week of free food for all the people in this area so that we could run through our menus. So we opened the first 2 months with no phone number put out there, no website.
Just word of mouth.
Just word of mouth.
Actually, it's pretty smart. What is your website?
I'm sorry?
What is the website?
AntoniaCulinary.com.
Okay. And you're open 7 days a week?
7 days a week. The bar is open from 3 to close, and the dining room opens at 5.
Franco, very much. Thank you very much for sitting with us. I know it takes a lot of time and
Thank you.
hard work for.
Thank you very, very much for that.
Oh yeah, and we'll get people from Laguna Woods Village to come here and have some of your lasagna. Well, another Beyond the Gates is in the can, so to speak. Though we're in a really nice restaurant. So, and you learned about vegetarian candy.
I did. Oh, chocolate will never be the same for me.
How do you
is
make
so
vegetarian candy?
Well, you know what they do? Instead of putting milk in the chocolate, which they always have to do, even though if you order something that's dark chocolate, there still is a little bit of milk in it. They put soy milk into it, and it is very tasty, and it is very good, and it's fabulous stuff.
Wow. And I learned about the best lasagna in Southern California here at Antonia's. So.
Well, you know, I've had that lasagna here before, and it's very good. It's like a lasagna bolognese that has many layers, and it's just good meat in it. I don't know of any place that has authentic Danish food.
Is that with clogs?
No, that is not with clogs.
Oh, okay.
That's with a lot of fish and potatoes is what it is.
Okay. For some reason, I'm thinking Danish and clogs.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
So you
But
had a good time today.
Oh,
and so
it
did
was
I.
wonderful, yeah. So, you know, people really like our restaurant reviews.
Yes, they do.
So I look forward to doing more. Hey.
Okay. See you next time on Beyond the Gates.